you had a brutal day, the kind where everything went slightly wrong, and on the way home, almost without thinking, you bought the coffee, or the snack, or the thing in the cart you didn't plan to buy. And then it hit. That little wave of guilt. That voice that says, "Why do you keep doing this? You know better. Here's what I need you to hear right now. You are not weak. You are not bad with money. Your brain is doing exactly what science predicts it will do under pressure." For years, people have been calling this doom spending and little treat culture like it's a character flaw. It's not. It's a brain mechanism. And once you understand the mechanism, you stop fighting yourself and start building something smarter. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you why your brain begs for that treat, why willpower keeps failing you, and the simple system that lets you keep your treats without wrecking your future. Stay with me. Section 1. The treat isn't the problem. Let's start with a number that should make you feel less alone. More than half of young people buy themselves a small treat at least once a week. Not occasionally, every single week. And the instinct is to look at that and panic. To think the answer is just stop, just have more discipline, just want it less. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody says out loud. The treat is not the problem. The treat is a symptom. Think about when you actually reach for it. It's almost never a calm Tuesday when everything is fine. It's the stressful day, the overwhelming week, the moment right after something went wrong. The treat shows up when your stress shows up. They travel together. So when you attack the treat with guilt, you're attacking the smoke and ignoring the fire. And that's why it never works. You can white-knuckle it for a week, maybe 2, then a hard day comes. Your defenses are down, and you're right back where you started, now with extra shame on top. That cycle has a name: spend, guilt, repeat. And most people stay trapped in it for years because they keep blaming their willpower instead of understanding what's actually happening in their head, which is exactly what we're about to break down next. Section 2. The bandwidth tax. Here's where it gets fascinating. There's a concept from behavioral science called scarcity, studied for over a decade by researchers at Harvard and Princeton. Their finding is wild. When a resource feels scarce, whether it's money, time, or even just safety, your brain narrows. It locks onto the emergency right in front of you, and it borrows mental power from everything else to do it. They call it a bandwidth tax. The researchers found that the mental strain of money stress can hit your decision-making harder than losing a full night of sleep. Read that again. Worrying about money makes you think less clearly than being exhausted. So picture your actual day. The bills, the prices, the quiet math, always running in the back of your mind. That background stress is silently taxing your brain all day long. And by evening, the part of you that makes calm, long-term decisions is running on empty. It's not gone because you're lazy. It's been spent, used up by survival mode. So when you stand there at the end of the day and reach for the treat, that is not a failure of character. That is a depleted brain doing the one thing it still has energy for, grabbing a small, instant hit of relief in a day that offered almost none. You were never fighting a discipline problem. You were fighting biology with a teaspoon. No wonder it felt impossible. Section 3. Why just stop buying it always fails. Now you see why the standard advice is basically useless. Just cut out the small stuff. Skip the coffee and you'll be rich. You've heard it 1,000 times, and it almost never sticks. Now you know why. Because that advice asks the depleted, end-of-day version of you to make a perfect decision in the exact moment you have the least brain power to make it. It's like asking someone to run their fastest sprint right after they've finished a marathon. The plan isn't wrong because you're weak. The plan is wrong because of when it asks you to be strong. And here's the part most people completely get wrong. Cutting out every treat can actually backfire. When you live under stress and you strip out every small source of relief, the pressure doesn't disappear, it builds. Until one day it bursts, and the splurge is way bigger than all the little treats combined. So the goal was never to kill the treat. The goal is to take the decision out of the worst possible moment. You don't need more willpower. You need a system that already made the smart choice for you, back when you were calm and thinking clearly. That's the shift. Stop relying on the tired version of you to be a hero every single night. Build something now that protects you later. Let me show you exactly how. Section 4. Build the system, keep the treat. Here is the actual fix. 3 moves. None of them require you to feel guilty ever again. Move 1. Give the treat a home. Decide right now while you're calm an amount that is yours to enjoy with zero guilt. Weekly or monthly, your call. This is not the enemy. This is the pressure valve that keeps you from exploding into a giant splurge later. The treat survives. It just gets a budget instead of a battle. Move 2. Automate the gap. The day money comes in before you can think about it, a set amount moves automatically into savings or investing. Why? Because we just learned the calm version of you makes great decisions and the tired version doesn't. So you let calm you decide once, set it on autopilot, and tired you never has to fight that fight again. The decision is already made. Move 3. Attack the stress, not just the spending. Remember, the treat is the symptom, so ask the real question. What is actually draining you this week? Sometimes the most powerful money move isn't a money move at all. It's a walk, a real night of sleep, a hard conversation you keep avoiding. Lower the stress, and the desperate need for relief shrinks on its own. That's it. You keep the coffee, you keep the small joy, but now there's a structure underneath you, built by the smartest version of you, working quietly every single day so the tired version doesn't have to. So, let's bring this all the way home. That guilt you felt buying the treat? Let it go. It was never the truth. The treat was a signal, not a sin. It was your stressed brain asking for a moment of relief in a day that didn't give you one. You don't fix that with shame. You fix it with a system. Protect the treat. Automate the gap. And go after the stress underneath it all. Because here's what nobody tells you. The people who build wealth aren't the ones with superhuman willpower. They're the ones who stopped relying on willpower entirely and built something that works even on their worst day. You are not broken. You never were. You just needed to see the machine clearly. And now you do. So this week, pick one of those 3 moves. Just one. Set it up while you're calm. That single decision, made today, will quietly protect every tired version of you that comes after. You've got this. I'll see you in the next one.